there was the BlizzCon stuff.
Oh yeah.
And among BlizzCon, like there was some cool things that they announced. They of course have the new stuff for World of Warcraft, which was like the new stuff coming from Shadowlands. They also have the new Classic is going on to Burning Crusades, which was the first expansion of the game way back in like I don't know 2000.
I played that one.
7, I don't know. I played like at the end of Burning Crusades, beginning of Wrath of the Lich King or so. But there was also some stuff with new remake of Diablo 2, which was interesting. I wasn't really expecting that one, but a lot of people said that Diablo 2 was great. You know, Diablo 3 is okay, but a lot of people always praised how Diablo 2 was and what it was like. And I don't know if that's a mixture of like nostalgia.
Well, I mean,
if it's really that good or what, but
like I played Diablo 2. I didn't beat it because it's just not my style of game. But I mean, you can see the quality and the fact that it still has such a huge community that still plays it. You know, I think speaks for itself. Yeah, kind of like StarCraft in that way.
No, yeah. I mean, and I don't know if that's also like some of those are like, you know, there's some games where like they push things to a point and then things kind of branched from there, you know? Like, was Diablo one of those kind of games that really kind of pushed more things? StarCraft was big on real-time strategy games. You know, Halo was really big in the first-person shooter genre. Like, there's just some things where like these ones pushed it and then these ones went further and stuff. So
yeah, I'm
going to be kind of excited because I played Diablo 3, but I always wanted to go back and play Diablo 2. And with them doing this, I recently was playing Warcraft 3 Reforged, and that was a lot of fun. But Diablo 2 Resurrected, I think is what it's called. Sounds kind of cool. It's going to have a lot of new updates, too, to where like you can play it in the old-looking style or in like the newer, like more updated version and stuff, too. So,
like the Master Chief Collector's Edition or whatever of Combat Evolved.
Probably
like where you
like
could
that,
push a button and it would switch back and forth between the new graphics.
I don't know how
and the old.
seamless between like playing like Warcraft 3 Reforged was you could choose which setting you wanted to play, but once you were in the middle of the match, you couldn't change it.
Oh yeah.
In Monkey Island, you can switch on the fly.
Yeah, Combat Evolved, you could switch on the fly too. It was cool.
So yeah, but that was kind of cool too. That was some of the main things that I really saw that they talked about.
Big Hearthstone changes.
Yeah, sure. Hearthstone was bringing out like a classic, like Hearthstone mode or something too, where you're gonna play with like the originals cards. They also are giving away like a lot of brand new cards and stuff for
They've completely changed the classic set, and they're giving away a rotating set of like base cards that everyone's gonna have access to. They changed a bunch of cards. They took cards out that have been staples forever. I haven't played in a long time, but a lot of crazy changes, and I think for the most part they seem like good ones. Seems like they're adding like a Slay the Spire style mode too, kind of. They didn't show much about it, but the map looked like that sort of game, like a roguelike collectible card game.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No, I saw some stuff with that a little bit. It looked interesting, but I'm not sure how it plays. But it did look like they're changing some things up a little bit. I think there was some talk of maybe Overwatch 2, but I hadn't seen anything on it. So maybe I just didn't get that far into things I was watching yet. My main thing was looking at what WoW was going to have and whatnot. But
like the two things I want them to change in Hearthstone that might bring me back is I want them to do legendary tokens. Like in Magic the Gathering Online, when you open a legendary, you get a token and you can spend that on the legendary that you want. Whereas in Hearthstone, you just get one, and it might be like a worthless one, you know. And also, like the dust system isn't very fair of like turning cards you don't want into new cards.
Gotcha.
No, sure, yeah, because that was like it would take a lot of cards to dust to turn them into the cards you wanted.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, well, I don't want this one. Let me get this one and trade it for one, even of equal value. It still seemed like it took. I don't know. It seemed like it would take a lot more to just dust and remake and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it was like a 4-to-1
something like that
thing, and like it's hard to get legendaries. So
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't usually want to dust other legendaries, not typically.
Yeah.
Not until you're sure you don't want them or never going to use them.
But yeah, that was the other thing I thought. Like there was a few neat things from there. The biggest one for me was I was surprised about Diablo. Not so much about Burning Crusades because I figured that was the route they were going to go. There was speculation before about 2 routes that Classic WoW would go, where they would just follow the release of what they had previously already done, or that they would like with Warlords of Draenor, they took you into like an alternate timeline universe kind of thing of like this is you're going back in the past and doing this and stopping this from affecting your timeline kind of thing. It was interesting, but like there was speculation that maybe Warcraft Classic would take you a different alternate route but it doesn't seem like they're going to do that. They'll just probably be following along with what they previously did, updating a little things here and there and whatnot. There's some neat stuff where if you've already played Classic, you can like copy your character so you can keep it in a Classic realm, but also let another one go to the new Burning Crusades like expansion.
Oh, yeah.
So you can keep them in both like iterations of WoW.
That's kind of cool.
That way, if you want to keep playing the same raids and different things and journeying in there, or leveling and whatnot, you can.
Because you'll probably already have a community that you want to stick with there.
Yeah. And some of them might be like, I just want to play Classic. I don't want to play Burning Crusades. And other ones might be, well, I want to go to Burning Crusades. That was my favorite era or whatever, you know? So I'd love to go into like Wrath of Lich King because I never got to raid there and fight the Lich King. And that was always one that I was like, that'd be a really fun one to do. So
I think I'm finally getting close to the end of Hades, or at least like an ending.
Gotcha.
It's a lot of fun. Like you could, you know, put the game down and come back to it later, but I like to try to do an entire run at once because I feel like I get into the groove, you know. So I don't find a lot of like. It takes about an hour usually in order to have a successful one. So I don't have as many hours sitting around as I would like, but I'm on a streak now. Like the last 3 times I've played, I've escaped. So now I'm really worried about breaking that streak.
Yeah.
Because every time you do it, you want to use a new weapon, and so you get better and you upgrade some things for your character, but the weapons are completely different from one another. So like switching between those in order to get the rewards for beating it with it, like if you're not failing a lot, you're just going in fresh with that weapon. It's extra tense because you're not like practiced with it. But